So do you want to talk a little bit about, tell us all about your sister, what you like about her or admire about her, or any stories of what she's done with you or for you?
Well, she like been very good to me. Before, say, when my mum died, she's been very good to me. Like she looked after me and everything, and yeah, she's been amazing. What she like been doing for me, and she is now actually. Uh, she like keeps an eye on me and everything. She's been wonderful. Yeah.
So what kind of things over the years has she done with you and for you?
Help me. Well, uh, before I come with Epilepsy for All, she helped me like get on like with Tony and Yinks, and then it just went from there, and we just bonded. Like we she's helped me right through. Like she helps me with like paperwork and stuff, and also like she helps me with a lot of stuff, lot of things. Uh, she's helped me like with like getting about and everything, like, and yeah, she's amazing. Like,
I wanted to talk about Sarah because when I first came to Advocacy for All and Sarah and I started working, I really knew how wonderful Sarah was from just meeting her. It didn't take very long to know how skilled she was and what an incredible group worker she was and how she was going to work individually with people. But when I first met Sarah, there were things in her life that were tricky that she shared with me, that she was kind of going through. And there were times when it was up and down and she wasn't as confident. And I never for a single second doubted what a wonderful worker she was going to be. And it's been an absolute pleasure, and I feel a little tearful now, to watch her grow and to develop and to overtake me on so many of the skills. That is what is wonderful. I think, flip neck, I can't do that. Well, she done this. Oh God, she did that well. And that is what this work is all about. And I feel in every way that I now learn from Sarah, and I so love working alongside her, and I admire her so much. And I know there are loads of opportunities out there for Sarah in the future. And she's going to be a person that I will keep in touch with no matter where our lives go, and I'll be watching for all the different lives that she touches. So I want to say I'm so proud to know you, Sarah. Thank you.
Well, I know it sounds terrible, but nominating Teresa, she's been a real encouragement for me. The way she, as I say, looked after her dad. She's taught herself more or less how to cook. When she lived on her own, when she was telling me she couldn't even boil an egg, she was telling me. She said she was that bad. She got so depressed, she had to move back home. And after her mum died, she more or less took over. She took over looking after her dad, really, you know, and they, considering with all the things that has happened to her, like when she had her seizure, when she was on board, you know, and she hasn't let things more or less get her down. She's, when we've asked her to come out, she said, you know, she's often said, oh, you know, I can't come out because of dad or whatever, which is understandable. But, you know, she's been very good. She, you know, we have a good laugh together, and she, you know, she's more or less one of the, apart from meeting Gordon when I first started, she was one of the first people I met. She came running up to me. She'd say, well, you know, who are you? And that was it. Just clicked, just like that. And yeah, it was just her nature with people. She's so, what's the word I'm looking for? She's so good. She's so patient with people. I mean, I've seen her a few times when I've been out with a coffee with Isaac, and how patient she is with Adam when we've had a coffee at the, I mean, at the as it was in the the Fab House, and she'll help people if they want, she'll go up with them to get them a coffee or get them a cake if they want a cake. And she's had to learn to cook. She's had to learn how to do other things that she wouldn't been able to do when she was, many years ago, and she's done very well, I think, for what she's done within a small, well, I say a small space of time, really. I mean, she looks on to me, and sometimes in Gordon as well. She'll come and have a good chat with Gordon.
Oh yeah.
And Paul. But
Yeah.
I look on to her as she's just like a what would say, like a bosom buddy, really, as they say,
With Perry, I remember going into the Swanley office when she was working on the Bridge to Independence project with Tina. Always incredibly friendly. Always really, really hard working as well. Incredible hard worker. Always in on time. Always doing the exercises that were set for her. And then I went to a small event in Bexley, and they were presenting the work that the Bridge to Independence had done. And Perry was talking through the work that she was doing with as a peer supporter on the project, and just hearing about the work that she was doing, being able to help run workshops, talk in front of people. I was so genuinely impressed, and I found her to be really, really, really articulate and supremely confident. And then when it came to Perry joining the media team, I think she has flown since joining us, and the proof of her flying is the beautiful work that she's produced for us, the beautiful animations. And Jan, you mentioned about watching the people you help facilitate surpass you. If you look on YouTube, you've got the older videos will have my title sequence, which is just literally Advocacy for All logo spinning on its axis.
Yeah.
And then turning to the front. And then compare that to the swirls of color and the spinning circles and the logo coming up beautifully animated. It was when she first produced that for us, I couldn't believe it, and was just so, I wasn't just impressed, I was really humbled. I was really humbled by her skills, really humbled by her technical ability on that. And then she's just gone from strength to strength with all the work that we've done. And another great animation, which we're going to use for the crowdfunder as well. That animation, what was special about that animation was the media team had a really clear idea what they wanted. And Perry just worked with us in such a way that she came up with an even better animation and a real clear story, a story that is now it's got a bit of humor to it. It's got a bit of compassion to it. And I felt so emotional watching that video as well, because I just knew that a video like that would have been impossible without Perry. So yeah, Perry makes the impossible possible, and so glad that she's on our team.
I'd like to talk about
my mum and how much she'd you know encourage me, and but you know she's always been like there for me. You know, she's helped me with my she's helped me with be independent. I mean, I know. I mean, I know. I know now. I know now. Now I'm at. Now I'm at my own flat. I'm not always there, but we do speak on the phone sometimes.
And what does your mum mean to you? What is it? What is
She,
why was she the person you chose to talk about on International Women's Day?
You know, she means the absolute world to me, and yeah, and yeah, yeah, and you know, if she wasn't around now, I'd be like probably, you know, very sad, you know. But you know, she'd help me she's helped me through a lot of things.
About, oh god, probably Sarah actually. To be fine, trust me. It's so bad. It's like, oh god, it's been about 8 years more. Give it a take. It was like, God, came just from, because this was long like before I started moving towards this way, like a kind of a friendship kind of took off type of thing, and it just became from like normal, like typical friends, into like almost headed towards like a sister that I've never had type of thing. So that's how like close like we are. So we start to us kind of to I started moving towards down here to the past 6 years.
I would also like to talk about my mum. So my mum has raised 4 children, 3 of which have disabilities or difficulties. So that's hard enough in itself. But she's always been the kind of mum that says, no, you can do it. I'm not doing it, you do it. And I mean, she used my love of food against me to get me to walk, which I'm always going to be thankful for. She placed a plate of donuts in the middle of the table and said I couldn't have one until I went and got it myself. So yeah, borderlining on tough love, I think. But no, she's always been the kind of mum that like really instilled in me that I try before I ask for help, and that's kind of something I've carried on. And also, like, she had to fight a lot for me and my brothers to get the right kind of education and to get what we needed to be able to succeed in life. And that's really sort of inspired me to do the same, but not for myself, for other people, which is probably why I do what I do. and I don't really think it's that special because it's just something I've grown up watching people do all the time. That I just sort of do it naturally. I don't even have to sort of be encouraged to do it, if that makes sense. And now my mum is sadly riddled with arthritis. She finds it very hard to move and stuff, but she still is able to make a joke out of it or laugh about it, or she still goes for walks for miles and then comes back and complains about the pain and then laughs about it because she knows it's her fault. So yeah, that's something I really want to get when I'm older, to be able to sort of sit there and be okay with how I am as a person. And that's definitely something I've learned from my mum, like my whole life. She's never tried to change me into anything that I wasn't, if that makes sense. Like surgery I had, that was all my decision, it was never hers. She's definitely put my life in my hands a lot, which I'm really grateful for, because obviously if she hadn't done that, I'm not sure I'd be the person I am, and I'd certainly not have the guts to sort of stand up and say when things aren't right, which she enabled me to do last summer when she accompanied me to my first ever protest, and I didn't think that would be something my mum did, but she went with me because it was something I wanted to do. And it's obviously a cause that she really believed in, or she wouldn't have went. She probably would have just said, "Don't go by yourself." And then I would have got very lost because I wasn't quite sure where I was going. But no, she's one of those mums that will support you to the ends of the earth, and then will openly point out when you are wrong to your face. She won't sort of hide it. She'll just be like, "No, you're wrong." And then over the years, you sort of get used to just go, "Okay, all right, mum," just for an easy life, really. Because yeah, but yeah, my mum really inspires me, but don't tell her. She'll think I'm going soft. So yeah.